Welcome everybody, it's Unstoppable Stelezzi here with an Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition Age of the World mod showcase. So, last time you remember we covered the Zulu civilization, but Deadly Interval had a pretty cool idea. Not only can we look at the gameplay aspects of the civ, but we can also look at the visual stuff. So, what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be training all the units, give them a basic summary, and show you what the visuals look like with each upgrade. Yes, Kados did add new textures and model stuff to every upgrade you get with units in this game now, so it's not just a carbon clone of the unit initially. It does actually get more and more sophisticated with each upgrade you add to it. So yeah, we're going to start training those units right here. First is first, we got our Asige, basically a javelin throwing unit. Pretty much a musketeer without a musket. You know, melee attack, it's going to be good against cavalry. At range, obviously, it's going to do a lot of damage with its throwing spear. The Impy, on the other hand, is more or less a pikeman that uses a club to sort of damage units pretty much. The musket warrior is a skirmisher, right? And the Ubuntu is more of a dedicated pikeman, whereas the Impy could sort of be more classed in the realm of being more or less a halberdier. The Ubuntu is more or less more of the anti-siege type of pikeman and has a bit more dedication to the anti-cavalry, I would say. So, if we're going to train those up here, we're also going to train up a Umpakadi, a battle wagon, and a Naguni ram. This is basically just a siege unit here that you damage villains with. This is like a sort of an artillery unit in a way. It works a bit strange, but once you look at the stats, you'll figure it out pretty quickly. And this is more or less like a very cheap battering ram type option, but it does have multipliers against cavalry. It's pretty competent against units, and it's got a cool special ability where it can do like one range attack against a building. So like make sure that it's at least doing some damage even if you chum block them from reaching it. So that's pretty good. We also have our healer here, which we could also make as well. Over here we got the Ubuntu, or the Ikozi. The Ikozi is a special explorer you can access as a unit through one of the alliances you get as the Zulu. And the Xoza is another alliance you can get where you can access the healers. So we'll see what their healers look like as well, which is quite good. So yeah, lots of stuff. What we're going to do is once all these units are finished up, we're going to line them up and just show you age by age what they look like. Also, we got the Soto Cavalry. This is a unit you can also make through the Soto Alliance as well. And let's not forget these guys. These are our cavalry units too. You got the Basotho Scout, and you got the Corona Horseman. Basically, this is basically statistically a Cheyenne Rider, and then this would be your Dragoon. Yep, alright, so let's line everybody up in nice single fashion here, and let's figure it out, alright? I'm going to scroll this in right now. I'm going to look at them one-on-one. So, this is our MP right, our Asige actually right here. In Wars of Liberty, it's actually the MP that is the javelin thrower, but here it's the Asige apparently. So, this is what he looks like, front and back. He's got his little leopard skin loincloth. He's got a bit of a leopard skin on his arm over there, covering this side. He's got a spear. He's got his nice African shield. Pretty cool unit. This is the Xoza hero, by the way. He has a bit of a covering over his head, you can tell. Yeah, look at this. Look at this guy. He's got, what is that? What's that black covering he's got over his head? Yeah, also, let's not forget Shaka himself. Here's Shaka right here. We could stick him right next to the other explorer to show the difference. So, Shaka's shield is much more akin to a traditional Zulu flag, as you can see right here. Whereas the Ikozi has a bit more of a zebra design, right? Shaka's got much more of a brown clothing complexion with a little bit of leopard skin on him. Whereas this guy has a bit more white fur, a bit of black fur over his head and his neck. And then he's got the zebra shield for protection. Spear-wise, both of their spears are pretty much the same. It's an iron-tipped spear with a very large point on it, as you can tell. yeah, let's bring some of the other units as well. This is the Zoza healer right here. Kind of similar to the somewhat similar looking to a Hadashani healer, at least in terms of the way he holds his staff. But overall, he basically has a bit of a feathered staff with a stick. He's got some of the Zulu leg covering stuff with the fur on it that you're often used to in the movies. He's got a bit of a colored design patch over his body, as you can tell, and then he's got like a green covering on his head. Very interesting. This is the real Impy right here. Let's bring the Impy in. So basically he has a bit of a leopard skin covering on, but he's mostly just bare. He has a bit of a green loincloth on, and then his shield looks like this, and then he's got his big giant Konobiri club as well for bashing units. Yeah, he's got a bit more damage than a pikeman would, but that also means his multipliers against cav are a little less. He also has great movement speed, so he's good for chasing things down. This is Duan Pakadi right here. Basically, he has a bit of a animal covering on his loincloth and his upper torso and chest area. And then he's got a big fiery spear like this that he basically uses to siege the buildings. This is the Sangoma Shaman. This is like the real Zulu healer right here. He's got a cool feathered headdress, as you can tell. His feathered staff is somewhat similar to the Exoza healer, so it's not too different, right? We got the Abuthu. This is like our super duper pikeman unit. He overall has a pretty similar look to the Impakadi, or I should say the Impy here. And his shield's pretty similar. He's got a little bit of like an animal covering on his head, as you can tell, right? Here comes the battle wagon. It's basically a big giant wagon drawn by a bull, pretty much, as you can tell right here. Very cool unit. Basically, it counts as artillery, and it has multipliers against cavalry and heavy infantry. Fires about 4 projectiles with each attack, which racks up pretty quickly. Siege attack's also pretty decent as well and has a good range on it. Here's our musket warrior right here. Basically a Zulu warrior, kind of similar to the Ubuntu, except he doesn't have as much ammo covering underneath, but he has a rifle. Yep, let's see what we also got here. We got to get our Nguni ram here. Here's our Nguni ram. So basically it's a farmer, a Zulu farmer. Let's show the farmer. Yep. I'm trying to get a good angle for this farmer here. Hey farmer. Go right there. Yep, so basically you have the farmer. He's got like a huge Salmo skirt covering with the leopard skin, green strap, and then his cow. Look at how big his cow is. This cow looks pretty normal in terms of the horns, but this one looks pretty scary. I mean, he has no horns, and his head is like huge. He's got a huge head right there. And we also got our cavalry units up here if we want to bring them over. So these are the Corona horsemen and the Basuto Scout. So these are our 2 cavalry units. They're not technically part of the Zulu race. They're actually South African mercenary cavalry that you train for influence, but still they're basically part of the main Zulu roster. This is the Basuto Scout. He's got a large orange covering on, and he's got a lance on horseback. The Corona horseman, though, has more of a green tunic on, and this cool, kind of looks like a leprechaun almost, with that green hat. It kind of looks like a leprechaun. Yeah, now he's got his green saddle on. The horses are a bit different. His is more of a dark brown. His is more of a beige color, which is pretty interesting. And we can also bring over the Soto cavalry as well, which is right around here. These are the Soto cavalry, belonging to the Soto people, which are aligned with the Zulu. And they're basically just a native unit, dragoon pretty much. Pretty strong unit though, yeah. But since they are a native unit, they don't count against your pop, which is pretty good. Let's put him over here. He's got that nice, cool, like, cylinder hat on. Kind of looks Asianish, but not quite. Has a nice yellow covering and everything. Pretty cool. We could also show what the Zulu villagers look like. So this is what a female looks like, and this is what a dude looks like. Bring them over as well. And you can see what they are right here. Very nice. Most definitely. Cool. So this is the big happy Zulu family of units. Isn't that awesome? Yeah, I bet it is. Right. Okay.
Ngingasiza.
So now
Yebo.
I'll put you over here, I
Yebo
think.
baba.
Yeah. So I don't want to lose too much view of the actual
ngiyahamba.
units. All right. There we go. Pretty awesome, right? So let's get some upgrades going. So because you're Africans, right? You upgrade all your units of the building at the same time. So this is lead infantry, right? The artillery, I believe, shadow techs, so that's not something we have to worry about. And then the cavalry we can upgrade with this, and we should be in pretty good shape. We'll just hang out around here until that's done. Should be infantry's about halfway through, and then we'll see a visual change on these units right away. Particularly the this
Uzokwenzani?
this and one of the other ones. Yep, the rifle. Yeah. Okay, so this is what they look like after their first upgrade. Notice how there's a lot more covering in certain areas with the leopard skin on all four of these units. The musket warrior, the impi, the abuthu, and the asige. Also, they got this cool headdress on now with this sort of like feathering, almost hay-looking substance now. Yeah, it's almost like they're wearing a little crown on their head. Did you notice that? It's right over here. This one has a crown on his head. This one as well. And, I think the rifle unit has like a much smaller one, but it's green from the looks of it. Yeah, no. You can definitely tell though. As for the cavalry, the Basotho Scout, now the Basotho Scout has a white covering on his head, as you can tell here. This sort of like white crown thing on him. I think he's got like a new stripe on his orange clothing. Horse looks a bit more dressed as well. The the Canora horseman though did also get a visual update. Now he no longer looks like a leprechaun. He has like a full turban on, you can tell. He's got a lot more stuff on his horse. He's got feathers. He's got like stuff around the bridle and everything. It's quite a different look. And then from there we can go with the champion upgrade on both the infantry and cavalry. And then see what they look like after we do that update to them, right? Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, no, it's pretty awesome stuff, I would say, for sure. So yeah. Infantry is about 3/4 of the way done, and then cavalry should be done as well. So far, I'm liking the visuals of these. It looks very, very African. Okay, so right away we can tell now that the Asige, I think he looks a little bit more complex. He's got the fur coverings on his legs and arms, you can tell. He still has the huge covering of leopard skin. He's got his like feather headdress on still. Same thing for the Ubuntu. The Ubuntu has a covering as well, but it's more of a bluish color, you can tell. Same thing with the Impi, right? And then the rifle warrior has his like beige animal covering on his legs and his arms. So that's pretty nice. And then as far as the cavalry's concerned, the Basotho Scout has changed to like a full blue dress, a full blue tunic now, and he has more of a European hat with the green covering on his chin area, you can tell. Look at this thing on the horse though. Look at that nice headdress on the horse. It's like a huge, it looks like the horse has like a female's hair on his head. Yeah, it's got like 2 straps coming down over the top of it. It's quite nice. And then for the Corona horseman, I think his turban and tunic definitely got a bit of a visual there. It looks like the horse's protection on his head is more metallic, so it's possibly more armor now. And then we just research the Imperial upgrades here for both the infantry and cavalry. Yep. Once we do that, we should be all done with everything. Yeah, no, most definitely. The bow wagon, the Naguni ram, and then the Umpakadi will all stay the same pretty much since they are siege units. Right, and they thus shall tech with each age up. Yeah. Alright, looks like the infantry is done now. And the cavalry. Okay, here we are. I think for the most part, the textures for Imperial are pretty close to what they are for Guard for all those units. Yeah, the headdress looks the same on the cavalry. The tunics look the same as well. And for the infantries, you can definitely see a similarity to before with their shielding, their footing and everything. Yeah, no, most definitely the same units for the most part. Yeah. So here we go. All the visuals of the Zulu roster, including their aligned mercenary units. So this is what they look like, right? Very good exotic civ for Age of Empires 3 for sure. Age of the World does a great job at showing a bunch of cool units you would never see in official development. So here we are with this one, and you know what I could do as the last thing too. By the way, I could literally build my I could build this as well. Here's my healing fetish right there. Basically, it's a spiritual object there that heals all the nearby units. So you can tell right away if you have this up and your units are damaged, this will actually help them out. So, yep, there we go, everyone. The Zulu visual showcase. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I will be signing off now from this showcase. See you on the next one I do.